You in this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this will be a piece of cake.
Folks, welcome to the Before Hours podcast, an internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. I ask the most interesting people I know about their sleep, their routine, life, love, stress, and setbacks. If you want to write to the show, you may do so. Our email is thebeforehourspodcast@gmail.com. Write us whatever you want, but for now, we have fellow comedian, fellow podcaster, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, a good man. Welcome to the show, Rich Happel. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing well, Bobby. That was a very nice intro.
It is a nice intro,
Yeah.
right? It's a tiny bit of semblance of structure to a podcast that has basically no structure.
Right. I like how you told me upstairs you're like, I might ask you a couple questions about your morning routine, and then you set the precedent immediately saying, that's what this is all about.
This is what it's all about,
Good.
dude.
Good.
But, you know, like last week we had Ryan Irwin on. He talked about being an ex-Mormon. You know, the week before that, we had Malia Simon. She talked about being from California.
Okay.
But less exciting. But I mean, she was exciting, but being from California is not exciting.
It's no.
And you and I are both East Coast daddies, if I may say so myself.
That's right. A couple fucking garbage pails right
Hell
over here.
yeah,
Yeah.
And both, I'm going to go ahead and say it, former fat guys.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
You look fantastic.
Thank you. I was fishing for a compliment.
Well, when you opened the door, I noticed a few veins popping. I was like, this kid's working out.
Well, you know what? I am blessed with very good arm genetics, but I am surprisingly weak. I had this conversation with my my roommates the other day because we were three straight guys. Actually, one is bisexual, but we were.
Oh, he gets booked more.
He does get booked more. I mean, he's not a comedian, but if he was,
he'd get booked more.
Yeah, dude. He is a bisexual black Muslim who loves Trump. I don't have time to get into it, but
that kid's gonna headline MSG soon. With that,
it actually is pretty. I mean, I disagree with him about Trump, but I'm like, that is a cool guy to be.
Yeah, but give that kid a microphone. Have him on the podcast. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Views through the roof.
You know, it was very funny to me. We had a conversation. It was me, him, and the other roommate. And the other roommate is like, Trump. What did he say? He said Biden doesn't care about me. To which my other roommate responded, Trump doesn't care about you either. And to which he responded, Trump doesn't pretend to. I'm
right.
like, damn.
That's the whole selling point. People still haven't gotten the selling point of Trump, which is insane to me. That's why people like him, because they're like, he's a no bullshit guy. And it's like, yeah, well, that's kind of also sometimes a problem.
Now, we're both, as you said, we're both East Coast garbage.
Yeah.
So I assume you have people in either your family or your extended family who are big MAGA people.
Almost exclusively.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's is it sort of that vibe? Like, hey, at least he's not condescending.
That's exactly it. Also, they just hate liberals.
Yeah.
So anyone that's even a liberal adjacent, they're going to hate, dude.
Even a guy that was a liberal until 2007, which is Trump.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, they were like, no, he wasn't. He was faking it, dude.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get along in Hollywood.
That's it. You want to have one of the biggest shows, you got to pander to NBC, folks.
Yeah.
Seinfeld did it too.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I just like saying a lot of false statements confidently.
You gotta.
Yeah.
And you know what I like about you right now, Rich, is that you're wearing a sweater, but you look like a tough guy while you're doing it.
Okay. Thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm negging you. I like to neg all the guests.
Because I'll be honest, when you told me the location of this studio, I was like, I might cancel because I'm going to have to walk through 3 housing projects.
3 housing projects.
Yeah, they probably think I'm Albanian or something when I walk by.
We actually do. Well, you got off at the Montrose L stop.
Yes.
I'm not going to say much further than that because I assume Connor doesn't want people to know the exact location of his studio.
Even though he is moving. I don't know if he wants us to mention that too. But yeah, well, now he's got to edit it.
We're going to cut all that out.
Okay.
So you do actually literally have to walk through a project, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not
I
like,
walk around.
Yeah.
I approach projects like puddles. I walk around them. All right. I'm not going to act. Because here's the thing about people not from New York that are like, housing projects aren't bad. Yes, they are, dude. Don't walk through them. I don't care what Google Maps says.
Haven't you seen The Wire?
Haven't you seen crime statistics? Don't walk through them because that's where crime happens.
Yeah, dude. And I, as we go further into the podcast, we'll get into the crime statistics.
As we always do.
Yeah, that's a segment of the Before Hours podcast as we just start asking questions.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. The answers are there, folks.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask that many questions.
Hell yeah, dude. And I mean, both being East Coast guys, a lot of family members who are cops named John.
Or Rich.
Or Rich. Are you a Rich Jr.?
The third.
Oh my God. King Richard III.
You ready for how trash my family is?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm Rich Happel the third, my dad Jr., and obviously his dad Senior.
Mm-hmm.
My dad has a sister, and when she was born, he was 8, and they asked him what her name should be. And he said, well, if I'm named after dad, she should be named after mom.
Okay.
And most people would say, we're not going to do that. That's not what happened. So my dad's immediate family is Rich Jr. and Rich Sr. and Patty Jr. and Patty Sr.
Aww.
The only female in New York State with Jr. on her birth certificate.
Oh, it says Junior.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I have an aunt that is named after her mother, but she is not a junior. I mean, it's not written Junior on her birth certificate.
It's the exact first name and middle name and last name, and she put Junior on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Is it garbage? I feel like it's oddly feminist.
No, that's garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Are You Garbage, folks.
When the kids have the same names as the parents, that's garbage.
You think so?
I know so.
Even,
Because
okay.
guess what? I'm related to them, and I spent a lot of time. These are garbage people.
Garbage people. Okay,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of affection in your voice when you describe them as garbage people.
Well, because it's fun.
Mhm.
That's what people also don't understand. Garbage isn't always bad.
Yeah.
It's usually fun, but also not great. You know?
So what other things belong to the garbage aesthetic in your family?
The garbage aesthetic.
The garbage aesthetic.
A lot of clothes from Kohl's.
Okay.
A lot of shopping at Kohl's. Kmart was very important for
Kmart.
back to school shopping. Yes. As to your point, I was a very fat child, and the only thing that fit me was Hanes sweatsuits.
Yes.
So until about 4th grade, the only thing I wore was matching Hanes sweatsuits.
Oh my God.
And we would go to Kmart in Lancaster, Pennsylvania every year to get, because they had the widest color selection.
Oh.
So we would go to Hershey Park, stop at Kmart, pick up the new sweatsuits, hit the road.
Dude, it's so funny because I've been there too as a fat little kid. Is you reach a level where all clothes don't fit you, and unless you're wearing sweatsuits.
Unless you're wearing men's large sweatsuits from Kmart.
And I've always been like, I've always been a short, handsome man. You know what I mean? So even as like a little kid, I was always shorter and then very heavy. And my parents never got word about the sweatsuits. And also I went to Catholic school. So for a while they were like, I remember going to a tailor and the tailor was like looking at my body being like, what do I do?
Have you ever had sweatpants hemmed?
I didn't.
I've had sweatpants hemmed.
Sweatpants hemmed.
Yes.
Okay.
I've gone to a tailor to get sweatpants hemmed. That's how chode-like my body was. I got cargo sweatpants hemmed.
Oh no.
And no one said anything. People should have been arrested.
Oh no. Cargo sweatpants hemmed. It's like the sentence gets worse with every new word.
It's like a trashy Mad Lib.
Cargo sweatpants hemmed in the trailer park before the January 6th riot.
It wasn't a strip mall next to a Chinese restaurant and a card store.
Okay.
Where you did play lotto and you didn't win. That's another big thing. Was lotto big in your family?
No, I feel like I grew up in a town where lotto was very important as were like tall boys of Coors Light. But my parents, they didn't play lotto. No, my parents are they don't have a lot of money, but they're very careful with their money.
Yes.
And I inherited, I did inherit their red hair and short stature, unfortunately, but I also inherited their frugalness, which I think is very helpful.
Oh, do you invest?
All right.
How does the family approach the stock market?
Well, this is embarrassing. I just started on 33.
Congratulations.
So like a year ago, I was like, right before I quit my job. So right before I did something irresponsible.
Good.
I did something. I have $1,000 in a CD and $1,000 in an index fund.
Okay.
And that's it.
When you started with CD, I thought you invested $1,000 in CDs, but it's good that you said index fund following that because now I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. No, I was raised all investing is gambling. So never invest.
Oh, okay. The first part sounded smart because I'm like, it's true. So how do you gamble smartly?
Right. A 401k, of course. That's why everyone's in a union. You have the 401k. But outside of that, my parents are like, never, ever put money into a stock. What are you doing?
Yeah, just put it under the mattress.
My grandfather keeps all of his money in a suit.
In a suit?
In a suit.
Is he in the mob?
No. He has a second grade education and he's illiterate. And he doesn't trust banks. So
okay.
He puts a lot of cash in suits.
Is he old enough to remember the Depression?
No, he's 82.
Oh, yeah. So, but I guess he was raised by someone that remembers the Depression. Because that, if you read about the Depression, the banks were literally like, we don't have your savings. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. But also, he can't read. So there's a couple other factors at play here besides the history of the American economy.
Dude, adult illiteracy is so funny.
It truly is the funniest thing. Have you ever had to read a menu to your grandfather?
Oh my God.
Had your grandfather ever asked you if there's ribs on the menu? Not because he wanted you to learn how to read, but because he genuinely wanted to know if the place had ribs?
There is a sort of, how they say book smart versus street smart?
Yes.
It's almost impressive if you go long enough without learning to read. You know what I mean?
And like being a functioning adult.
Yeah.
Like he had a career.
Yeah.
Never read.
What did he do?
Drove a truck for
Yeah, I
Bloomingdale's.
guess you don't have to know how to.
As long as you know a stop sign, you're pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you have to read a map. I guess that's not.
I think you just drive back and forth between Bloomingdale's and where they store the furniture.
Ah, I see.
So that's, as long as you remember that,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Dude, I kind of, this has been talked about before, of course, but when people are like, self-driving cars are going to be so cool, I'm like, yeah, 50% of men aren't going to have jobs, and that's probably going to be something our society has to deal with. But other than that, it does sound like a cool idea.
Yeah, they'll find something else to do.
Yeah?
There's going to be so many more podcasts.
Welcome to Billy's Truck Driving Podcast.
Yeah, we just have on former truck drivers. What was your craziest truck driving story? Like
Dude.
Sometimes I drove a long time.
Dude,
What?
Have you heard of, we had Brandon Puff on the show, and he isn't a former.
Are these people you make up?
Yeah.
Who are any of these
You're
people?
my first real guest.
Yeah. I'm like, I know a lot of people. I don't know the three names you've mentioned.
No, you know how I book people, and it's probably not smart, but I'm like, that person's my friend. You know what
That's
I mean?
how I do my bookings.
Dude, I mean, I've done other podcasts where we try to get big names, and God, what some divas they've been, dude.
Dude, I know people that aren't big names that are divas.
Yeah. That's a fun guy or girl to be, is to be like, do you know who I am? And everyone's like, no, we don't.
I've been left on red by people with 10,000 followers. I'm like, dude, what? No one's listening to you, guy.
Yeah,
You're not important. I'll name names for the Patreon.
Dude, I was hosting a comedy show, and there were two people, and the club books the lineup, and they book the order, and they book how much time everybody does, and they tell me all that information.
Yes.
And there was a guy and a girl, and they were like, the guy has to go first. You're good, man.
Okay.
Jamie will tell us if one of us is too loud.
Yeah, Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy was like, I have to be up early. And I'm like, all right, fine. And then the girl comes up and she's like, I have to be up early. And I was like, okay, here's the thing, is that both of you want to be up early. And unless you guys want to go at the same time, you're going to have to work it out between yourselves of who really has to go up early. And they were both like, ugh. I remember the woman who is going to be famous because she checks a lot of boxes.
You don't say. First one is she's a woman.
Yeah.
So she's already got a leg up.
Dude, it's the funniest thing. And listen, this won't be an entirely incel podcast, but I will say it's very funny. You go to an open mic and a woman's like, I'm the only woman here. And it's like, yeah, because you only really have to do this for 6 months and then someone's going to pass you.
Exactly. It's pretty straightforward. As long as you're not terrible, you're going to do pretty well in this.
Hey, look at you taking the mic out of the mic stand and then putting the stand behind you. You're already going to at least be doing checks.
She's got something. Exactly.
Dude, I've told people that if they're a woman or they fit whatever box, I'll tell them. I did my first open mic in May, and I did my first bar show in December. And it blows their mind. I'm like, yeah. And the only reason I got up on the December bar show is because it was the day after Christmas.
That's right.
So nobody went. audience or comedians. And they were like, you know, who isn't doing anything? That weird redheaded guy that talks about his penis. And that's how I did it.
Let's be honest, though. New York City bar show, that you just named every bar show. You gave it an excuse. Like, it was the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
No, they don't market.
Dude, yeah, I mean, there was a homeless guy there. It was weird.
It happens.
Yeah, the level of entitlement. Entitlement in general is very funny. I had a situation coming over here, actually. I sat down between two people on the train, which is fine. A bench that sits 3 people.
Okay.
Hot take, 3 people may sit there.
How crowded was the train?
It was...
And how long did you have to go? How long were you on the train for?
Oh, Rich, I see you and I are going to have a disagreement about this. Because I always feel comfortable. Of course, if there's like an empty bench adjacent, then I'm a psychopath for sitting between both of them.
Of course.
But it was one of those things where it was two of them kind of taking up more need.
They were larger people?
No, they weren't carb enthusiasts necessarily, but they were Americans.
Yes. They're not going to Disney, but like they're larger people.
I was the smallest of the 3 of them, and granted, I'm a small person, I'm a
small
handsome
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I won't stand on the train if there's enough room in a middle seat. It's fine. We could sit in the middle seats. Our knees may touch. It's New York City. It's crowded.
But how long were you on the train for? How many stops?
4. This is from.
You should have stood up.
I feel okay. So this is a point of contention. This should be the question I ask everyone that comes onto the podcast, because I seem to be in a minority here, but I think it's unrelated how long I'm going to be on the train. If I want to sit down, I could sit down.
Wrong.
So never happened. Wrong. So tell me your philosophy about
you're gay.
Yeah. Dude, he's so close to saying you're gay. And here's the thing. He can do it if he wants.
I'm excited. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's only a finite amount of words in the English language.
I mean, they were
it's
arguing
come out.
about their dick size, which is, I mean,
these are presidents.
A literal South Park episode.
Yeah.
Like, I always think of the giant douche and the turd sandwich.
That's exactly what was going on.
Oh my God.
But no, you in this situation, Bobby.
So tell me,
you're
okay,
incorrect.
what are the subway rules in terms of sitting in the middle seat? I'm genuinely curious.
I mean, you would have to go, like, it would have to be a 20-minute minimum ride.
Interesting.
You would have to, right.
So if I'm on the train and I know it's going to be 17 minutes.
17 minutes. You could. We'll back this down to 15.
15.
I live Upper East Side to Union Square.
Mm-hmm.
That's about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shortest amount of time you could justify a sit. But like if I'm going from Upper East Side to Times Square, I can't sit. That's a standing commute.
What's the reasoning behind this? I'm not understanding the correlation between time spent on the train and whether or not you are allowed to sit in the middle seat.
I think it's a few reasons why. One thing, I'm a very selfless commuter.
Ooh.
I always prioritize others for the seat before me.
Aww.
Not because I care, but because I don't want to hear shit from people.
Okay.
Especially if like a pregnant woman comes on and you're like, then in your setting, everyone's looking at you as the younger straight white guy.
Meanwhile, you're the one that practices safe sex and you're getting...
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, usually I see him walk on and I run out of the train. No, that's a big reason. I don't want to hear shit from anyone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm like, I'll just stand. Mm-hmm. It's only going to be 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. We're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Okay. Being a selfless commuter, I understand. And I understand the motivation behind it. I guess I just, are you gauging the uncomfortability of standing for a long amount of time versus possibly touching somebody's knees? That's what's happening.
I'm not concerned about the knees.
Okay.
Also, I will say, because I take the Q a lot, being on the Upper East Side.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Q, honestly.
Shout out to the Q. I don't like the seats that are like, it's like a regular seat and then it's the L. Mm-hmm. and then you got to sit like at that.
Yeah.
I won't sit there. So if that's the available seat, I won't sit there out of principle because I just don't think that's how.
It's a bad setup.
It's a bad setup. I also don't like my back exposed to the rest of a train.
Yeah.
But that's also
my
anxiety talking.
I mean, you're talking to someone that carries pepper spray everywhere they go.
You're a man that carries pepper spray around.
You know what? I will say it. Rich, I refuse to be ashamed.
You should be.
Listen to this. I carry pepper spray and I carry sunglasses in case I have to use the pepper spray.
Really? And where do you keep your tampons?
Right next to both of those things.
Okay, there you go.
I have to be prepared, dude. Well, say someone beats me up on the train. What better way to stop a bloody nose than sticking a tampon up there?
I like that. I like how you're like the Bear Grylls of potential rape. Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's my reasoning. You gave me your reasoning about standing on the train. I'll give you my reasoning about carrying pepper spray on the train.
Okay.
I
mean, I get the reason. I mean, you're not going to tell me something crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, you won't believe it. Black bears.
Yeah. Well, black something.
Clip it.
Woo! No, people of all races could be crazy on the train.
That's true.
And I won't break down the statistics, even though Rich is a big fan of crime statistics.
You don't see a bunch of. There's not really crazy Asians on the train.
Never seen a crazy Asian.
They're very.
I saw a crazy Asian and wasn't Rich. I saw a crazy Asian in New Jersey one time. I was driving and he was blackout drunk, I assume. And I almost hit him with my car, and if I did hit him, it would have been his fault. And I actually had to run a red light because he tried to open my passenger door because he was so mad at me.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only time.
Okay.
But
that's not bad.
Shout out to him for breaking stereotypes.
There you go. 33 years, only one crazy Asian. That's a pretty good ratio.
Pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
But I know some guys carry knives with them.
That's what men do, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. That's why men end up in prison.
I don't think you know how prison works. You were a paralegal.
Yeah. So, dude, I do think a lot of people are confused about how self-defense works. If you talk to people about self-defense, sometimes they'll think it's a who started it situation.
Yeah, that's not really how it goes. You are correct.
It's avoid, de-escalate, run, hide, fight.
Yeah.
And the thing about being in the train is that those four things are not available to you.
They're out. So carrying the knife, I get.
But the thing is, so both are illegal to carry on the subway, by the way. Knife and pepper spray.
I didn't know pepper spray.
New York is crazy. It's like you can't bring anything onto the subway, but also
we won't police any of these people. So it's kind of let's see what happens scenario.
A Hunger Games situation.
Right.
So I think if I have to defend myself on the subway and I bring out a knife, I mean, it's like the Bernie Goetz thing, where, do you know Bernie Goetz?
No.
Bernard Goetz?
No.
I bet you know the story. There was a guy in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you brought it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Please explain the story.
Your dad's a cop. You definitely know who Bernie Goetz is.
I seriously have no idea who Bernie Goetz is.
So he is a guy in the 80s where, I mean, New York is still like Taxi Driver, right? And it's getting back to there, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's fun.
So he was on the train, middle-aged white guy. I think it was like 4 or 5 black teenagers walk onto the train and try to rob him, and he shot all of them at least once. And it was this big thing because it was like, was it vigilanteism or was it self-defense? And it was, I want to say it's self-defense, but I could understand the argument against it.
Right.
But of course, then there was a racial aspect to it too. It was like a culture war thing in the 80s in New York. And he ended up getting found not guilty of murder, manslaughter, all that stuff. The only thing he was found guilty of was bringing the gun onto the subway.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the 80s.
It's the 80s. Everybody was
bring a
crazy.
gun on the subway, buy porn in Times Square. Who cares?
People were going off, dude.
People were going off, and God bless them. The economy was roaring. Good for them.
He is one of those people too, where if he just didn't talk to the police, he would have been fine. It's wild. People do people not watch like lawyer shows? It's just say lawyer until they give you one.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
It's the human psyche is fascinating to me though, because some people will be like, yeah, but I was hungry and thirsty. I'm like, well, you're going to be real hungry and thirsty in prison, you idiot.
Right.
Just wait a little longer. We're not in Russia. Eventually they will be like, all right, I guess he really wants a lawyer. I guess we have to get him
Yeah,
one.
just hold on, dude.
Yeah.
Be patient.
It's like that Tom Segura bit about the first 48 where it's like, we saw you wearing a green shirt, and he's like, yeah, I stabbed those 3 people. It's like, dude, lie. Lie longer. You killed somebody. You can't lie about it for a little while. Yeah. But yeah, I you know what's funny though is like if I'm ever in the self-defense situation, it's one of those things where it's like it would have to be very specific. I would have to have enough time to reach into my backpack, put the sunglasses on, and then use the pepper spray.
How often have you been encountered on the subway?
I have been I've had to put my hands up in self-defense against 2 different shall I say unhoused folks. Did I say that, Jamie? Did I say that right? Unhoused folks? Yeah, I don't know what it, I used to do a joke about it on stage where I sort of had this like Richie Cunningham vibe about me that I think annoys Black Vietnam veterans. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's very specific.
Yeah. I'm just, well, those were the 2 guys. I mean, I didn't ask about their service, but that's the vibe I got from it.
They weren't wearing any hats, I assume.
Dude, the guys wearing that, there's no sadder life than someone that's like, huh? 50 years ago, I did something.
Right.
I haven't done much since. Bye. Huh?
Or they're wearing the hat and you start talking to them, then you realize like, oh wait, you were stationed in Germany?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I went to high school with several folks that will be like, yeah, I served. Don't really want to talk about my service. I was like, really? Because you were in Okinawa.
What did you do? I have one of my cousins. He's always puts up that he's a veteran, and on Veterans Day posted a picture. You were in the Coast Guard in Montauk.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. People actually did something.
Yeah. Unlike us, you didn't do, haven't, I want to go ahead and say, done anything for anyone ever as comedians.
No, I've done nothing. I've helped 0 people in my life.
Yeah.
And it feels okay.
You helped yourself though by losing all that weight. Tell me about that.
That's
journey.
right. Yeah, just leave your house and you lose weight. That's what I learned. Move away and then you lose weight.
Dude, I fucking it's hard because I lost a bunch of weight and people ask and I'm like, calorie deficit. And they're like, what else? I'm like, that's it.
No, that's really it. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology because I was like, I need to learn how to lose weight. And after 6 years of studying, I can confirm all that's useless. Just eat less.
Which it almost like when I see like a heavier person at the gym, and I'm filming them,
Of course.
no, but
Well, you got something to jerk off to.
there. This is okay. This is gonna sound mean because it is, but a heavier woman doing the Stairmaster, drinking a Starbucks smoothie, basically.
Yes.
I just want to walk up and be like, just don't drink this.
Yes.
You're not even with the Stairmaster stuff. You're not even counteracting the drink that you're having right now.
No, you're still gaining weight.
Yeah.
You're somehow gaining weight while exercising.
In fact, I think people that go heavy into cardio, they're like, well, guess what? I'm hungry from the cardio, and also I quote deserve it.
Yes.
And that was the biggest thing for me is like, I remember hearing Jim Norton talk about it on the radio where he says, he tells himself, you've had enough treats, Jim. And that has helped me tremendously.
You just tell yourself you had enough treats?
I've had enough whether it's food or whether it's jacking off to porno.
Okay.
Like, hey, I don't have to overload myself with dopamine and serotonin every day. Sometimes I could be a guy that just sits down, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's sad.
You think so?
Yeah. Those don't have to be the only 2 options. You don't have to be a chronic masturbator eating Kit Kats or sit in a room with nothing. You can just like go for a walk. Grab a salad. I don't know. There's so many other options.
Yeah. Grab a walk and go for a salad are things that I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that I'm in a padded room rocking back and forth wishing that I could jack off to Japanese bukkake. That is what I do some of the time, but not all the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What's your like go-to? Actually, I should ask this.
Okay.
What was did you have a moment because you were very heavy?
Yeah.
Did you have a moment?
You keep really enforcing that.
You were
I don't think you
guys-
understand. You were really fucking fat, dude.
Rich, it disgusted all of us.
Yes.
Oh, actually, you were heavy and then you quit and then you did stand-up, right? You never did stand-up as a heavy man.
Not at my peak.
Mhm.
First set I ever did was a week after I graduated college. I was a
Okay.
little chubby, but not
Mhm.
what I was.
So walk me through the weight loss journey.
Walk you through the weight loss journey. I mean, well, what started, I played lacrosse in high school, and my town has a lacrosse day. Lacrosse is the biggest, I'm from Long Island, so it's the biggest sport in town. So the varsity team scrimmages against each other at the end of the day, and the whole town watches, and it's a whole thing. It's like 2,000 people attend this thing. And I got the ball from the one side of the field, ran it to the halfway, and I couldn't breathe anymore due to being fat. I passed the ball off, and I call in a sub. The sub comes on, and the head coach walked over, and he yelled, "Why'd you get off the field?" And I said, "I was out of breath, coach." And he said, "Yeah, it's because you're such a fat fuck." And he yelled, screamed it in front of like 2,000 people.
Jesus.
And I was like, this guy's making a point. This guy,
my God.
I was like, fair, sir.
Kinder.
So, and then I just started losing weight from that point. I was like, all right, we really have to tackle this. And a year later, I lost like 60, 70 pounds at that point. And I went up to him. I was like, Coach, I just wanted to say thank you for yelling that. And he was like, I never said that. And my mom was with me. She's like, no, you did. I heard it, but it was good, you know? And he was like, I would never say something like that. I was like, you once told us you could beat all of our dads in a fist fight. You're a guy that says stuff like this.
What a cool guy.
The coolest guy. He is. Shout out John Calabria, dude. That guy's sick. He did once say, if your dad wants to fight me, tell him to come. I was like, no one's challenging you to any fights,
yeah,
dude.
What a crazy. Some people don't, like in high school, it's all about, can you beat somebody up? But you're supposed to go beyond that.
No, dude, that's what my parents wanted me to do. And I went to a college that specializes in this, is be a high school gym teacher and coach.
Okay.
I went to SUNY Cortland, where that's exclusively what they generate. And dude, that's my dream. Like, even like if money didn't matter and I had no passion of comedy, I would be living in rural Texas telling kids I could fight their dads. That's exactly what I want to do. It's in me.
You major in pedagogy and you minor in threatening children's fathers.
I have several friends that have bachelor's degrees in coaching.
Okay.
Several.
Okay.
And that's just, and I was like, that's a good investment. Good thing you're putting money into this. And they're coaches now. God bless them. It's just people that didn't win a state title that are like, I will win a state title one day.
Yeah.
God bless them.
It's a cool guy to be. I recently had a guy at Planet Fitness give me advice that was oh so very wrong.
What a shock. A guy at Planet Fitness doesn't know how to exercise. A guy at the place that gives pizza and bagels to the people.
I will say that Planet Fitness at Union Square is full of hot people.
Really?
Yeah, because some people are like, I'm hot, but I don't necessarily have to go to Equinox, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
The poorer hots.
The poor hots, which are the most attainable hots. I'm not going to fuck a rich hot, you know?
It's
unless
tough.
she's like 60 years old. In which
Ladies.
case, yeah, if anybody's interested, dude, I'll bring lube. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's the oldest woman you fucked?
Oldest, 39.
Oh, okay.
I was 21.
Oh, but that's quite the difference.
Fun.
So that's cool.
It was very cool.
And you get to tell yourself like that was pretty close to 40.
It was wild. Yeah. Real garbage pail.
Yeah.
She brought a tall boy, a Steel Reserve, the pregame with. And I was
that's
like,
beautiful.
I like this.
That
I like
is-
your speed, lady.
God damn. And then when someone's like at that level, it's just like we're gonna have a nice time. You know, there's no anxiety.
Oh, she was talking about her ex-husband. Her daughter was like 2 years younger than me.
Oh,
I
that's
was like,
cool.
this is pretty cool, dude.
Hell yeah.
And I was in college. I saw my roommates saw her walk in and walk out. And she was a grandma at the time because her kid just had a kid.
39.
And she walked out of the room. She's like, I'll see you later. She's like, I probably can't next weekend. I'm seeing my grandkid. And then closed the door. And my friends were like, fuck. That was a grandma?
Yeah, dude. Hot
I still hear about it till this day. Shout out to her.
Dude.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, but you got to send me your information afterwards.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll look it up.
Well, that's a wild story about that coach because I feel like that could have gone one or two ways. That could have been the catalyst of you being like, I hated being body shamed and body shaming is wrong. But you went the other way where you were like, damn, I am a fat fuck.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, guys. Sometimes people are right. he was right. You have to be self-aware.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes to a lot of comics. Listen, if we tell you you're not funny, stop doing this.
Dude. Yikes.
But it also goes, like, if someone's like, you're a little heavy, you're probably more than a little heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard because, I mean, we weren't supposed to have this much access to food, Rich.
We weren't.
We just weren't.
No.
And I mean, you and I have talked about this before. I think when I was on your podcast,
Yes.
we used to eat Hot Pockets as preteens.
I would have taco Hot Pockets for dessert. For dessert.
So you would have a full dinner.
I have a full dinner.
Wait 20 minutes.
Maybe a little bit over.
Mm-hmm.
Be in my basement. My mom would pop in 2 taco Hot Pockets. Put them at the top of the stairs of the basement. Walk up, grab them. Go back to playing FIFA. That was most of high school.
Honestly, that does sound very cool. I want taco Hot Pockets right now.
It's pretty good. Or chili dip. Chili dip was very important.
It's like a sacrament.
Yeah, it was like a sacrament, yes. She would put it at the top of the stairs. She'd sacrifice it to the gods.
I like that you're like a prisoner. Leaves it for you at the top of the stairs.
I was a bit. Yeah, now that you're putting it like that, yeah. Maybe they tried to keep me in that basement and just fatten me up.
Yeah.
They're like, he can't leave.
Yeah.
We know where he is at all times.
Now, I have a couple of different relationships with self-improvement because I used to eat a lot and I was very heavy. So I started eating better and losing weight. And I used to drink a lot. I was an alcoholic.
Yes.
And then I stopped drinking.
Yes.
Were there people in your life when you started to better yourself that were like antagonistic towards the positive change?
Yes, my family.
Oh, oh, it's not one person; it's the whole collective.
Oh yeah, they're very critical people. So no matter what you do, well, everything I do, it's a comment. So it's like, all right, well, whatever. You try to improve yourself. They're like, what? You think you're fucking better than us?
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, I'm trying to be. Yeah, that's kind of the goal of this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the whole point is that I'm seeing my future and I would like to change it.
Yeah, I'm trying to not do that. I said it on Kelly Taylor's podcast. I feel fat today, which
You too?
yes.
Oh.
Fantastic pod, but I said it on there. But I recently, this was a couple weeks ago, told my family like Chinese food's not healthy, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Do you understand?" Like, and they're like, "It's protein, it's rice, and they put broccoli in it." You tell me that's not healthy? I was like, "There's no helping people. They're saying their ways, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
that's it."
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I want Chinese food.
Chinese food's great.
You know, you can't talk somebody out of their beliefs. And even if you do, 30 minutes later, they're going to believe in it again.
Exactly. Fat people and religious people are very similar. And my family's the Orthodox Jews of fats.
Yeah, they won't mix their meat in their milk, but they're going to have both.
Yes. My family's the type of family, as you're eating lunch, they talk about what's for dinner.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
the type of family I'm from.
You know, I can key into that because I'm always thinking about food. But the thing, and I don't know if this is what you do, the way I sort of hack that is that I just make sure I have fruits and vegetables, and I'll eat fruits and vegetables to my heart's content because it is crazy how little calories fruits and vegetables have.
I don't even keep food in my house.
Really?
Come over. You were at my apartment. There's not a single morsel of food in that house.
So if you want something to eat, you have to leave.
Exactly. Because even if I buy a thing of blueberries, I'll eat the whole entire thing in one sitting.
Yeah.
I am a big binge eater for anyone out there that can relate.
Yeah, me too. I have. I also think I have an oral fixation. Because all the dicks.
Ladies.
Yeah. Oh yes, ladies.
Oh well, whatever.
I drink a lot. I drink a lot of water, which I think is good for
Yes.
you. But it's also like I have to be doing something. I
Yeah.
drink a lot. I
It's
pee
a
a
whole
lot.
hand-mouth relationship thing. I'm with you.
Dude, I mean, I'll get like if I'm at a bar with somebody, especially like a date, and they're like, "So you're just gonna drink a Diet Coke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't drink alcohol." And then our drinks will come, and I'm done with the Diet Coke almost immediately.
Diet Coke's so good.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I see." Because if this was alcohol, that would be an issue that you drank it so quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, you get it. I love Diet Coke though.
I love Diet Coke.
And they say it's bad for you. That's a friend of mine was like, "Diet Coke's bad for you." I'm like, sure. You got it. I am going to die.
Here's a fun fact. 100% of people die.
Yeah.
So why not have one thing you enjoy, besides masturbation and binge eating?
And binge eating. Yeah.
Right.
I will say though, Rich, I was I very rarely give into this type of craving, but I ate an entire pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream last
God bless
night.
you. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Sometimes just rip the Band-Aid. You know what the thing is though? Today, no ice cream. And that's where I think a lot of people get tripped up. Because a lot of people are like, well, it was bad today. Let's make it a bad week, bad month.
Yeah,
Fuck
just
it.
kind of snowballs.
Mhm.
Yes.
Also, sugar is addicting. Like I woke up this morning, like, what if I had more sugar? I'm like, you can't be, first of all, I can't eat ice cream in the morning. You know?
You can do whatever you want. This is America. All right. Do whatever you want. That which is kind of the problem. Yeah. But no, have ice cream whenever you want.
Yeah.
Who cares? Fuck them, dude. You see your arms? Look at that. Good biceps.
Yeah, dude. I have good arm genetic. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you in the beginning because I was
fill me
talking
in.
about my my Trump supporting roommate.
Yes.
So both of my roommates, they're both workout guys, like to a reasonable extent. None of them are like bodybuilders.
They're
whatever.
fit.
Yeah, but they're fit, and we're all talking about like what do you lift or whatever. For any women that imagine what do men talk about when they're alone, that's it.
Yes.
We talked about football. We talked about what do we lift, and I told them. So I'm a hypertrophy Harry. I don't care about strength at all.
Gotcha.
So, and because I'm vain, I don't care. I'll throw that out there. I mean, it makes me feel good, and also,
There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to justify your decision.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people are like, well, strength is functional. I'm like, I'm a white collar guy. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, you're not. You have no job. But
This is white collar. I'm talking for
I got you.
for right now, no money, but
Soon, maybe.
guys, subscribe to the non-existent Patreon.
There you go.
I feel like I'm the only podcast that doesn't have a Patreon.
I'm just starting mine tomorrow.
Hell yeah, that's so
Very
exciting,
excited.
dude. We're gonna do plugs at the end.
Oh, we do plugs at the end. Shout out.
So because we were talking about how much we lift. I do 4x12. That's my vibe.
Great.
And my max doing 4x12 benching is, get ready, 85 pounds.
Whatever.
You're the first person to have that reaction.
Who cares?
Everybody else is like, that's comically low.
I mean, it is. But whatever. My whole thing is you're doing it. As long as you're doing it, you look good, you're consistent with it, you're gay. I say
am gay.
keep going. Yeah, who cares? 85.
Dude. And talking about having an addictive personality, I am glad I'm not gay. I'm not saying that all gay men are promiscuous, but I'm saying if I was, I would be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the vibe is I don't think gay men are inherently more promiscuous than straight men, but I will say they are more successfully promiscuous than straight men.
Well, because they're going after other dudes who are also down.
And dude, I mean, let's just say if fuck another person with no effort was could replace occasionally eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, I would have AIDS by now.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip it.
Send that to his doctor.
Yeah. Do you donate blood ever?
No.
I donated blood recently, and it used to be if you're a man who's had sex with another man since 1970, whatever, you can't donate blood.
Yes.
And then it was, have you had sex with a man in the last 3 months? And if so, you can't donate blood. And now it's, have you had sex with a new partner in the past 3 months, regardless of your sex or regardless of your sexuality?
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, I guess they're trying to make it more fair, but I feel like that's going to exclude a lot of people. Certainly a lot of people in New York. You know?
Yeah.
We're all whores in New York, dude. There's no virgins in New York. I mean, there are, but you know what I mean.
That's why you guys start donating sperm. They don't ask the questions. They're like, whatever.
Can I tell you how fucking paranoid I am? Because I heard about not sperm donation. I wouldn't donate my sperm because the idea of having a child that is mine, that even though I don't have to take care of it, it's weird to me.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a feeling you have, but
Not really, but keep going. I want to see where this goes.
so I wouldn't donate sperm, but it was brought to my attention that I could donate my sperm not to inseminate a woman. Oh, by the way, I'm too short and ginger to do that anyway. So
They told you that.
yes, that's every sperm bank is like, you must be this tall to ride.
Did my high school lacrosse coach work at this sperm bank? Where he's like, you're too short, fucking redhead.
So, but you can apparently donate your sperm to like people that just want to study sperm, you know, not inseminate a woman with it.
Okay.
Yeah. whatever.
Bunch of nerds.
Yeah. Yeah, that are studying it, which is like
I was gonna say that's a good way. If you're a closeted homosexual, that's like pretty good at biology. Like, oh no, I just need to study.
That's such a funny idea of what gay guys are, is that they just love sperm irrespective of the person.
Like, yeah, you don't know if you're gay, so you're like, what if I just am around it a lot?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that's weird.
But I apparently paid $50 per load, which is a good price considering I'm making $0 from it now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this is how paranoid I am. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing with my sperm. I don't want them to give it to some lady. She pours it into her pussy, and then 18 years from now, I got to put someone through college.
I don't think that's how it works. I just think you watched that movie with Vince Vaughn. And you're like, I don't want to be Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. Would hate to be Vince Vaughn too. So I don't know if you've ever donated sperm, but what would you say is your morning routine?
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how we're gonna jump in, folks. My morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Tuesday, Thursday. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Scoop a pre-workout right in my ass. Head to the gym. I lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, I do cardio, so I'll wake up whenever.
Mm-hmm.
After that, shower. I'll try to do some editing.
Mm-hmm.
Then head to the office at like 9,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
Dude, you're a 4:30 in the morning guy.
That's right.
God damn.
Because
Now,
I like to have the gym to myself.
yeah, that is beautiful.
Even though there's one other guy, I won't say his name because he might watch.
Ooh.
But I met him. He told me his name. He ruins my whole morning setup.
Really?
You know what I hate, Bobby? Let me fill you in on what I hate.
Mhm.
And this is something I'm a real pretentious dick about. Like when it comes to the gym, I like know exactly what to do. And if someone throws that off and doesn't know what they're doing,
Yeah.
I really fucking hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only thing I could do with a master's in exercise science.
Yeah.
Is critique others' gym habits.
The guy doing drop sets on the bench should go to prison. I will say that.
Like this guy, we both wait for the gym to open together like 2-3 minutes every morning. And he's wearing his knee sleeves waiting for the gym to open.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need knee sleeves unless you're squatting like 495, first of all.
Yeah.
Second, you don't wear them to the gym. Hockey players don't wear their skates to the rink. What are you doing? You look like a fucking idiot.
I think that's communicating. I'm a workout guy, everybody.
That's exactly
I'm
what
a
it is.
workout guy.
And he squats like 225. Like you're squatting nothing.
Well,
And
some
you-
people would be happy to be able to squat that much.
What, yeah, but you're not wearing knee sleeves is my whole point. You're not acting like you're about to, deadlift 700 pounds. What the fuck is this?
So, Rich, can people DM you to ask for workout advice?
No,
Don't do that.
don't DM me.
But I imagine you do want people to follow you on social media.
Yeah. Subscribe. Well, the YouTube. YouTube's the only thing that's been working out,
Okay.
which is really the only thing I care about.
Yeah,
also.
I did your podcast. It was a great time.
It's a fantastic time. Bobby did the pod. You showed your feet, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I got any YouTube comments about it, but I do think I have nice feet. People, please write in the comments. Do you like
Wait,
these?
I'm not wearing. I have those same socks. That's my usual go-to socks.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So Patreon's coming out tomorrow. Very excited. Asked Norman for some advice, the old Mark Norman, and he had none. I was like, how'd you do this operationally? He's like, I haven't done business ever. And I was like, all right. So we're going to see how that goes.
Hell yeah.
And the Happel Hour pod, Rich Happel on everything, Rich Happel comedy.
Rich Happel comedy.
Check it out. If you like feet, Bobby was on it. We showed our feet.
And, we'll have Rich on the podcast. Unfortunately, we have to be a little shorter today because the L train fucked us, but we're going to have you back on.
Fucking
and
L-train.
on that, I'm going to go ahead and say it. On the next episode we have together, we're going to show our bare feet.
That's a big cliffhanger.
Folks, remember, early to bed, early to ride. Early to ride. I'm going to try this again. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing night owls. You know I love you.
Thank you.